Welcome to We've All Done It, the podcast for leaders who know they've screwed up and are ready to fix it fast. I'm Kimberly Benoit, author, speaker, leadership coach, and Southern girl living outside of Washington, D.C. Here's what I believe. Every leader faces challenges and makes mistakes, but you don't need years of therapy-style coaching to fix them. You need someone to help you figure out what's actually going wrong, make smart adjustments, and get back on track quickly. That's exactly what I do through one-on-one coaching, targeted skill development, and group programs. Every episode of this podcast delivers real talk about common leadership pitfalls, practical strategies for recovery, and no BS guidance to improve how you lead yourself and others every single day. Whether you're here to listen and learn or ready to work together and make real changes, you are in the right place. Now let's get to today's episode. Hey everyone, welcome back to We've All Done It. I am Kimberly J. Benoit, and I am so excited about today's episode because we are officially 1 week away from the Navigating Uncertainty Leadership Summit. 1 week, people. 7 days. And I've got to tell you, the energy around this is incredible. I have leaders from all over the world registering. The speaker lineup is fantastic. And I am genuinely buzzing with excitement about what's about to happen. So today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to pull back the curtain a little bit and tell you what to expect, how to make the most of the 3 days, and why, if you haven't registered yet, you might want to reconsider. So whether you're registered already or you're sitting on the fence, this episode is for you. So let's just go ahead and dive on in. So first, I want to begin by reminding you about why this summit exists. We are living in a time where uncertainty is really the only constant. Markets are constantly shifting. Technology is disruptive, I feel like almost on a daily basis. Teams are changing. What people in a variety of ways. We're talking personnel changes, expectation of your teams are changing. Priorities are constantly having to evolve. And as a leader, you're just somehow expected to navigate all of this with the utmost confidence and clarity. Are we right? Come on, people. But here's the truth. Most of us are just simply trying to figure it out. I mean, aside from COVID and the pandemic, which had its own level of chaos, essentially, leadership has been kind of stable. We were taught if we made a good plan, we executed well, we'd measure it, and then rinse and repeat every year. But what's happening is that's really not enough anymore. And what we're seeing are leaders who are thriving are the ones who are making confident decisions, keeping their teams aligned, and actually seeing really those results. It's because they're not necessarily relying on the old way of doing things. They are being very adaptive in figuring out different ways, different skill sets to get better results. And that's really what this summit is about. I wanted to help people who have a problem or a struggle or challenge to find the right solution for them right now. In what way could or should they pivot in order to show up in a better way than they showed up yesterday? So over 3 days, you're going to learn from 20 amazing leaders who have mastered the art of navigating uncertainty. I know every single person who is going to be participating in this summit as a speaker. And let me tell you, they're not just lucky. They just didn't get things handed to them. They are people who were required to build frameworks, models, systems that had to work regardless of what was happening around them. And guess what? They're just going to share it with all of you in this summit. So we're talking strategy, team leadership, operational excellence, leading through change and innovation, everything you need to take yourself from a place of uncertainty to a place where you can actually leverage that as a competitive advantage. So let's walk through a little bit about what you can expect from the summit. And let's talk about what are we actually covering in these 3 days, because it is overwhelmingly comprehensive. All right, so first, we have got strategic leadership. This is all about how you create vision and a plan when you cannot predict what's coming. And if the last couple of years have taught us, I mean, this is probably since COVID, we really don't know what's coming. So imagine we're going to get into scenario planning, adaptive strategy, how to position your organization to win no matter what happens next. Then there's team and people leadership because your people are everything. Am I right? Like, we're going to talk about building teams that actually thrive under pressure, how to develop talent and communicate through change, because those are absolutely critical. So, you're going to walk away with understanding how to create a culture where people excel even when everything feels uncertain. And that's going to take us into operational excellence. So, this is the nuts and bolts of running things efficiently and staying adaptable. So, how do you manage performance when your goals keep shifting? How do you build processes that don't slow you down? How do you execute well when chaos is literally all around you? Yes, those are huge. And the last thing we're really going to not get into, and if you've looked at any of these topics, they're all in there, is change and innovation. And so this is where uncertainty becomes opportunity. So, how do you lead transformation and foster innovation when things are disruptive? Because change, even good change, is disruptive. And so, this is all we're going to get into how do you build that real organizational resilience, the stuff that separates organizations that thrive from the ones that just hold on. All right. So 20 incredible experts, 4 categories that are going to cover everything you need. And every single session is going to give you frameworks that you can use right away. That was critical. Like, that's a non-negotiable for the people I had on this participate, is I wanted things that people could take and do immediately. So if you're not sure what sessions to go to, there is a way to try them all without killing yourself in 3 days. So we're going to get into the all access pass. So first off, you can see any of these sessions in real time for free. You still have to register, but if you are worried about money or money is a hurdle for you, I took all that away. You can watch them for free. Now, there is something called the all access pass. So the all access pass is basically um, an option for those who want to be able to watch every session in an on-demand capacity, right? So that's awesome. Like, you can watch it a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, it'll be there. But the cool thing about the pass, because we're gonna get more into the pass in a second, but the cool thing about the pass is that several speakers, myself included, are offering exclusive bonuses for all access pass holders. So you're not just going to get lifetime access to the summit content, which in and of itself is pretty awesome because you can revisit it, you can try different things, or see different, like, come back to trainings that maybe weren't needed right now, but maybe in 6 months you're like, hey, I forgot there's this whole training about brand. I should go check that out. But anyway, you're going to get additional value that honestly makes the $97 investment a no-brainer. So let me tell you about my offer first, because I think this is really important. So in an exclusive bonus for All Access Pass holders, I have something special. I am launching something new in February called the Leader Learning Lab. It's a membership where you get access to a growing library of leadership development modules. Plus, you get access to several office hours each month with me where you can pick my brain on any question or any challenge you're facing. Now, the annual membership is normally going to be $427. But if you purchase the all access pass to the summit, you can apply that entire $97 toward your membership, bringing your first year annual membership down to just $330. So think about it. You're going to get the entire summit plus a year of ongoing leadership development with me for $330. Incredible value, like, insane. And I mean, that's not all. Like, several of the other speakers are offering complimentary or deeply discounted one-on-one sessions or webinars. exclusively for all access pass holders. And we're talking like strategy sessions, leadership coaching, focused problem solving on your specific challenge, sessions that would normally cost hundreds of dollars. So when you add it all up, that $97 all access pass quickly delivers hundreds, even potentially thousands of dollars in additional value. So you're not just buying the replays, it's really a true investment in your ongoing leadership development because of the access you now get to expert guidance that goes beyond the free registration and the summit itself, candidly. And I just want to be clear, when I say replays and I say lifetime, I mean it. So as long as there's a me, those replays will be available. And just for clarity, because, I know people get really amped, are the replays available immediately after the session runs? No. Technology is just not that good. The goal is to always have the replays available by the next day. And it is a priority to get them up and running. So please be patient because, with all the things, all the different systems involved and all the different things, just be patient that we're going to make them available to you as soon as possible after a session has happened in real time. All right, so now I want to hop into how to make the most of those 3 days. How do you get the most value? So whether you're showing up on the free registration or whether you're showing up as a pass holder, there's 5 things I'm going to encourage you to do to get the most out of the summit. First thing is I want you to update your agenda so that you can block your calendar now. So if you have registered, I want you to make sure, log in into your attendee portal and make sure that you read through all the sessions and add them to your agenda to block your calendar. I'm really serious about this because if you don't block the time for these sessions and treat this like any other important meeting, someone's going to take that time. Right? If we don't say no, if we don't set the boundaries, someone's going to barge right in and take it. That happens in my calendar. I know it happens in yours. And I'm not saying you have to block the entire day. Even if you only have time to hear 1 session a day, or hopefully 2 sessions a day, you're going to get tremendous value. So please make the effort to block the time on the calendar so that you can show up and develop yourself in the way that's most important for you. Second, I want you to come with specific challenges in mind. So think about the areas that you are struggling in the most. Write them down. And then when you're making that agenda and you're watching those sessions, actively think through how those frameworks and those insights could apply to your specific situation. The more aware you are and the more intentional you are about what you're trying to solve, the more value you're going to get from the summit. Third, I want you to take notes, but I want you to make it more of like an action item list. So don't just write down what the speakers say. What I want you to do is write down what you're going to do. So listen to that very carefully. Not just what they say, but what are you actually going to do differently from what you have heard? So if you hear a framework you like, write, I'm going to do X action in this situation by this day. Give yourself an action list. So choose to be action oriented from the start. Don't be a passive observer, be an action oriented attendee. The fourth note I would give you would be to engage with other attendees. So you clearly are not alone. Like we have close to 100 people registered for this event as of this recording. So that tells me that there's a need. There are going to be a lot of people within each of these sessions who are struggling with similar challenges. So use the chat, connect with people, share insights, ask your questions, because sometimes the biggest learning happens in those casual discussions that are taking place in the Q&A in the chat. Engage with us, engage with each other. And then the last tip I would give you would be, by the end of the session, I encourage you to have a list of 3 things that you're going to do differently that week. Don't try to do everything at once because you're going to get flooded with information. You're going to get flooded with ideas. So I only want you to pick no more than 3 things that you're going to go try. Pick the frameworks or the ideas that you think are going to have the biggest impact for you, and then commit to doing them, trying them within a week. All right. So those are the tips for getting the most out of it. So now I want to talk a little bit, shift a little bit, and talk about logistics. All right. So if you're attending in real time, I used to say live, but that was confusing people. I had several people think that that meant that there was an in-person element to this. There is not. This is a fully virtual event. So the only difference is are you attending in real time or are you watching an on-demand replay? That's kind of how it works. So if you're attending in real time, um, sessions are going to be on the day and time. Every session has a unique day and a unique time. They're never overlapped. And so it's very important that you, again, build out that agenda, because what will happen is when you go in and add a talk or a session to your agenda, we will send you a reminder email 1 hour before the session. And all you have to do is click a link and you're in. It's great. It's very easy, and it's very intentionally built this way to try to make it as easy as possible for you to show up and get the best value that you can. Now, if you have registered for free, I encourage you to go to the swag bag tab on the website, because several speakers are offering freebies for people, and that includes workbooks, chapters, books, free assessments. I think there's a journal in there, and every day there's a couple things being added. So there are freebies from all of our speakers. So even if you don't register for that talk, it is a freebie. You can go download it once you register. It's fantastic. And I encourage you to get in there, and especially if you're going to a talk, download, if there's a workbook or PDF of some kind, download it. For many of the speakers, there's stuff in there for you to keep notes and keep track, and it's a nice place for you to have all your consolidated framework information for that session in one spot. Now, if you're an all access pass holder, you get immediate access to all of that, plus the exclusive offers. So you don't have to wait to take advantage of offers. Although I encourage you to do that because, you never know who and what it may be. But just know, as soon as you buy the pass, you have access now, not only to all of the freebies, but also the exclusive offers. And again, you can come back after the summit is done and watch any of the sessions on demand at your leisure. Now, if you haven't registered yet, I have a real question for you. What are you waiting for? Seriously, what are you waiting for? Live real-time attendance is completely free. There are zero barriers. So I encourage you to go to the registration link in the notes in the bio and register right now. If you want to have some flexibility, you want to have the lifetime access, you want access to some of those exclusive offers, which even if you haven't registered, you can click and get a description of all of the exclusive offers currently available. Again, the all access pass is $97. Now, I do want to let you know that that cost will go up once the summit is over. So, shocker, you can still buy a pass after the summit is done. So, if for some reason this gets away from you, which I encourage you to just take action today, but if it gets away from you, you can. But the price does go up to $127 once the summit is over. And also, some of the exclusive offers have time limits to them. So, again, action is really important. So if you're going to get it done and you're going to do it, just do it this week so you can check that off your list and take advantage of some really cool stuff. Again, the registration link is in the show notes. It's in the bios. Please, please, please register today. Now, as we're coming to a close, I just want to make sure you understand this one thing. We are in January, and we know that January sets the tone for your entire year. How you show up determines how you're going to navigate everything that comes forward. So if you start 2026 with new frameworks, new strategies, new ideas about how to approach the same problems you were potentially dealing with last year, you're going to have a fundamentally different year than if you just keep doing what you're doing. So this summit is your opportunity to hit that reset button, to level up your leadership, to go from being in a reactive posture to really being in a proactive, confident, in control posture. So again, 1 week from today, you could be learning from some of the most brilliant operational and strategic minds in leadership. You could be gaining new frameworks that fundamentally change how you make decisions, how you lead your team, and how you navigate challenges. Or you can skip it and keep doing what you're doing and change nothing about how you're showing up. Now, for me, I know which choice I'd make, right? So I just need you to do one thing right now, which is go to the registration link and register. Block off that time in January. So it's January 25th through 27th. So it's a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I even did the summit on a Sunday so that you wouldn't have to have the conflict of work. So tell your team, tell your family, you are investing in yourself because you deserve that. You deserve time for you. And then show up ready to transform how you think about yourself and your leadership. This is happening 1 week from today, and I genuinely cannot wait to see you there. So, as always, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for supporting the work that I do, and I cannot wait to see you at the summit. I've got 2 things before I let you go. 1, if you've ever gotten any value from the show, please leave a 5-star review. It really helps and absolutely makes my day. The second thing is if you have any thoughts you'd like to share with me, please shoot me an email at podcast@KimberlyJBenoit.com. I'd love to hear from you. All right, see you in the next episode.